Ready, set, go. We are live here at the Mason Complex compound.
Yep, compound.
She does have a complex, but
I do have a complex.
And it is day. We're not going to even say what day it is because we're over counting days.
Yep. We don't need to say what day it is anymore.
So,
although I am inclined to say it's day 21.
Day 21.
It's April 20th.
April 20th. Yeah.
Yeah, 20th.
All right. So go with your word of the day.
So I have something special for you today.
It better be a song.
It's not a song, but it's almost just as good as a song. Instead of just one word of the day, I have 6 words. Okay, so, and they're not super difficult, but I'm still going to tell you about them. I about called you somebody. So the first word is majority. That's a pretty easy word. I'm going to quiz you. What's the word majority mean? Hood?
Means the most.
Most of, yes, okay. Hostile. I'm not hostile.
When you change the plan a little bit, a smidge, she becomes hostile.
Hostile means like aggressive
Hateful,
towards someone,
aggressive.
hateful, like rah, like an animal.
Check,
It's hostile.
check, double check.
Apprehensive.
Scared.
Yeah, neat.
Somebody may be apprehensive about telling Miss Mason something's about to change.
Plans are going to change. Listen, I have a complex that requires me to have advance notice of things that change. I also am a rule follower. Okay, originate.
To start.
Where something starts from. Good, you're doing a great job.
I'm a
Deplete.
Use all.
Use all up. You should be the word of the day expert. And stationary.
You don't move.
Excellent. Now, stationary is a multiple meaning word. So what else could stationary
Oh,
mean?
like postcards and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
like what you write with. But you are correct. We are saying you don't move stationary. All right, so in order for us to fully understand these and for me to use them accurately in a sentence, I'm going to read you a little story. And Mr. Hood just happens to be the star of this story.
Oh, my.
Have you heard this?
No.
Okay. At first, it was a seemingly normal day. Lee Go, a 6th grade student at Round County Middle School, had successfully made it through his first, second, and third period classes without incident. Gym was super fun, lunch was gross as usual, except not really, it's really good. And Lee's English teacher acted crazy like always. Things started to get interesting, however, about halfway through 4th period, Mr. Hood's social studies class.
The best class in the world.
As Lee and his fellow classmates sat in Mr. Hood's unusually warm classroom taking notes on Egyptian culture, a foul smell found its way into Lee's nostrils. Trying not to puke, Lee carefully glanced around the classroom. By the looks on so many of their faces, it was easy to tell that the majority of his classmates could also smell the horrible stench, but were too afraid to question where it came from. Mr. Hood had been known to be hostile towards students who asked off-topic questions during class.
Not true.
Because Lee was also apprehensive about asking Mr. Hood, Lee nudged his seat partner, Rick, and whispered, "Hey, do you smell that? Ask Mr. Hood what that smell is." Rick looked at Lee with a crazy expression and frantically shook his head no. Lee's nostrils burned from the smell. Sweat beads popped out on the back of his neck and he began to get lightheaded. The smell kept getting stronger and stronger as Mr. Hood made his way around the room, getting closer and closer to Lee's desk. Lee could not figure it out.
I'm not impressed.
Did this nasty smell originate from the trash can? Was it seeping in from the bathroom down the hall? Or could it be coming from Mr. Hood himself? Lee couldn't handle it another minute, and all of a sudden he blurted out, "Mr. Hood, what in the world is that horrible smell? I can't take it anymore." At that point, every single person in the classroom was staring directly at Lee, including Mr. Hood, who stood with his mouth open and a stunned expression on his face. Thanks. After what seemed like ages, Mr. Hood replied in somewhat of an embarrassed tone, "Oh, you can smell that?" "We all can," Lee responded, practically shouting. "How could anybody not?" Lee, along with the rest of the class, sat silently staring at Mr. Hood, waiting for his explanation. "Well," Mr. Hood began to confess, "you see, I recently started using less soap to wash my feet, because if I use too much, I will deplete my soap supply. When it's too warm in my classroom and I'm up and moving around the room rather than sitting stationary behind my desk, my feet get really hot and sweat a lot. When my feet sweat, they begin to smell. Then my socks begin to smell. Then my shoes start to smell, and then everything smells." When Mr. Hood stopped speaking, he rapidly looked around the room for at least 30 seconds. Shocked, Lee and the rest of the students sat in silence, staring at Mr. Hood, waiting to see what happened next. Then, as if nothing had even happened, Mr. Hood started right back where he had left off when Lee interrupted him, lecturing the class about the Egyptian way of life. Lee left Mr. Hood's class that day a little confused, still a little sick to his stomach, but feeling satisfied that at least the mystery as to why Mr. Hood kept his classroom so cold was finally solved, and was more interesting than Lee could have ever imagined. The day turned out to be anything but normal. That's all I've got.
Boo. Good writing.
Thank you.
Not true. Not true story. I washed at least one of my feet. Okay, so we have some national days today because there are how many?
1,500.
I hope that's on the state test one day. How many national? We have National Cheddar Fries Day.
Ooh.
We have Lima Bean Respect Day. Respect Day. Not just Lima Bean Day. Lima Bean Respect. We have Look-alike Day. You know, Miss Mason got a dog. I'm seeing similarity between her and her dog a little bit. I mean, they're starting to look alike. Pineapple Upside Down Cake Day. I love pineapple upside down cake.
I do too. I love any cake.
It's also Chinese Language Day. Chinese.
Ni hao?
Ni hao?
Yeah. That's all I know.
I don't know that many.
That's hello, isn't it?
I was like, what are you talking about?
Didn't you go to China?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the Chinese language is one of the 6 national official language that the United Nations recognizes.
Okay, what did you just say? It was like
Chinese. The Chinese
okay,
language is one of the 6 official languages that the United Nations recognizes.
They don't recognize any other languages?
There's 6 of them they recognize as an official language.
What are they?
Probably English,
Spanish,
Chinese,
French,
Italian,
German.
I bet it's
German. I'm going to look this up. This is fascinating.
You look it up and put it in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's also Patriots Day. Well, we got our flag here. And the Patriots Day was to commemorate the battles of Lexington and Concord. They were the first 2 battles of the American Revolution. And Miss Mason talked about Paul Revere the other day. And yesterday, which would have been the 19th,
yes,
would have been the day that the Revolutionary War started.
Yes.
So, we skipped a day. We took a day off. Miss Mason wouldn't film with me, so she's not my friend. Anyway, so we also have there's also a Patriot Day, and I think that is in October or November, or maybe, and it has to do with the terrorist attacks that occurred in September 11th, 2001, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and we also have, today in history, we have in 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded, which that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I believe 11 people died and several people were injured, but there's a really good movie on it. I don't know if I should actually suggest that movie to be watched because I don't know.
Is Ben Affleck in that movie?
Maybe. I don't know about what the language is like and that kind of
Probably
stuff.
not.
But I'm sure there's documentaries you can watch online.
Yeah.
Also, in 1951, a human organ is surgically replaced for the first time. A piece of a stomach was used to bypass the esophagus.
So like the first organ transplant type thing?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know that I technically have somebody else's donated body parts? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I do. So I tore my ACL.
Your face?
You wish. So I tore my ACL when I was in high school, and I had a cadaver ligament, like somebody's Achilles tendon, to replace my ACL. Yeah.
Way to go, buddy.
I know. I couldn't donate blood after that for a while.
Huh.
Yeah, because organ donate is technically not really an organ; it's like tissue, but you can't donate blood for a time period.
Crazy. All right, well, we're glad you checked in, or you're going to watch this.
Hopefully, maybe.
Lots of you, and we'll see you
All 10
tomorrow.
of you.
We won't skip tomorrow. Peace out.
Bye.